I'm getting ready to go to the OB right now. I'm so tired. Last night I was having some really intense pain in my upper back. It was like something over here in between my ribs. It's still like a bit sore, so I have to be really careful with how I move around. I've been getting pains like that every night, and I'll just need my husband to like massage like the muscles in my back, and then it goes away. Yesterday when it was happening, I just assumed we could massage it and it would go away, but it was getting worse and worse, and walking didn't help, sitting didn't help, laying didn't help. Nothing was helping. And the worst part was the pain kept moving to different points of my back and my side. Wherever it was, I needed direct pressure on that point or else I couldn't breathe. It was insane. I literally couldn't breathe. Like, I could take teeny tiny breaths in and out, which was making my head hurt. I was worried about the baby, and I just was not getting enough air in. And then there were times where I could get air in, but I couldn't get air out. I couldn't have my lungs like expanding more than a certain amount or even compressing to a certain amount. It was so painful. So we called the doctor and they told us to just come in to labor and delivery, and they would like check me out and stuff. They put like stuff on my belly to monitor like baby's heartbeat and also see if I had any contractions, and the monitor was showing that like baby was perfectly fine, but that I was like contracting a ton. And they checked my cervix and I was 1 centimeter dilated, and I was so stressed out. And I was like, I know I've never gone through this before, but I know for a fact I'm not in labor. Like, I know for a fact I'm not contracting. They did tell me that the waves of contractions that the machine was showing could have just been like the stress in my back, and because it's all connected. What they were saying was that they think it's a rib out of place, so they were showing me like movements I could do. We came home from the hospital at like 1 a.m. but I had an ice pack and they gave me some medicine that kind of helped relax the muscles and also helped me to fall asleep. So I woke up this morning with a bit of pain, and my back is so sore because for hours we were just like putting pressure and massaging it because I needed to do that in order to breathe. We thought that last week was going to be our last ultrasound, but they checked baby's position and he was transverse, and so because of that my OB wants us to like keep checking each week to see like if he's gonna flip, how he's doing and whatnot. Actually, this is the first appointment I'm going to all by myself. Not too big of a deal. They're just gonna check the baby, and I'm just super worried because if the baby doesn't move and if they can't get him to move, they're just gonna have me do a C-section, and that scares me to death. I never want to have like any sort of surgery done. Honestly, whatever is going to keep me and the baby safe, I will do, but the thought of it just scares me so bad. I've been trying to do so many different things to help baby move, but he's just so squished up in there. He's got no space. I feel like he will turn when he's ready. I am 37 weeks, so we still have a few weeks. I'm just gonna finish getting ready and then go to my appointment. My hand is shaking. I'm gonna have to put my phone down somewhere. There's literally nowhere to put my phone. I just finished my appointment and I was in there for a really long time. It's like the longest appointment I've ever had. So we went and we did an ultrasound. Last week the baby was transverse, so he was just sideways, and I was so sure that he flipped the wrong way and he was breech, and they did the ultrasound and confirmed that he was breech. I met with my OB and we were just talking about different things. Honestly, I would love to have a natural birth. I'd love for everything to go well, but because he's breech, there are just so many risks. I know that a lot of people successfully flip their babies and everything. For my personal situation, I'm not necessarily a bad candidate for flipping a baby, but I'm also not like an ideal candidate. My OB is really open to whatever I want to do, and I'm actually really grateful that he explained the pros and cons to anything that we were to try to do. If we were to wait to see if baby flips, or if we were to try and flip him, or if we were to get a C-section. And I was just really glad for that conversation, but it's just freaking me out because I want to do what's safest for me and the baby, and I know there are risks to everything. Honestly, I mean, without going into too much detail, I do think a C-section would be the safest option, but we're gonna give it another week. We'll have to make a decision next week because I'll be 38 and a half weeks at that point.
out. I'll be a few days away from 39 weeks. And if we do decide to try and flip him or try a C-section, that's all gonna happen at 39 weeks. I think I wouldn't be so emotional if the idea of a C-section didn't freak me out so much. I know it would be okay. I freak out and I almost pass out whenever I get a shot or like draw blood because I hate needles. So I do not know how I will feel mentally if I'm like laying down awake being like cut into. I'm kind of feeling a little bit upset at myself because last week the baby was transverse, which meant that he could flip this way or this way, and a part of me just feels like it's my fault that he didn't flip the right way. Like I should have been doing more, or I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's my fault that he flipped the wrong way because I could have been doing something more. I know I need to not think like that. I think I'm gonna focus more on the mental aspect of things, of making sure I'm in the right headspace so that regardless of what happens, I'm okay. Also, so I can feel a bit more at peace because I feel so all over the place.
So I am now 38 weeks and I have my 38-week appointment tomorrow. If he's still breech by tomorrow, then we'll have to either schedule an ECV and an induction for this coming Monday, or we schedule a C-section for Monday. I kind of feel a little bit differently about it right now. Earlier this week, my mindset was the baby flips, great, then we'll just, wait for him to come naturally. If he doesn't flip, like I don't want to force flip him. I feel like if he's not flipping, there's probably a reason why he's not flipping. Over this past week, I've been doing meditations, telling myself that like everything is going to be okay, like my body is capable of this, my body knows what it's doing, my baby knows what it's doing, everything's gonna like work out for the best. That fear that I have could be another reason why the baby's not flipping, because my mind is telling my body and my baby that we're not ready and we can't do this. I've had so many people telling me that them or their mom or their friend or just someone they knew, like their baby flipped the day before or a couple days before they were born. I've just been really feeling like if he's going to flip, he's going to flip just before he comes. He has been moving a lot. Like his head will go from like all the way up here to all the way over here. He just won't like flip all the way, and he has spun around. At our last ultrasound, his hands were on the left side and now his hands are like down here. So I know he can move around. I don't know how it is for other people, but for me it's really easy to tell like what are his feet, his arms, his head. I am going to link the videos that I've been using. I've basically been waking up first thing in the morning. I'll do a couple of the exercises. There are some things that I try and do like at least 3 times a day. So once in the morning, once before bed, and then once in the middle of the day. And then I'll also routinely be doing other stuff. If I'm ever sitting down, I'm usually sitting on my birth ball. Every time I go to the pool, I really can feel the baby moving. I just finished up a semester of school and today's my last day of work. So I'm a lot more free now, and we've been going like every single day recently. But before, when we were a bit busier, my husband and I would try to go like at least 3 or 4 times a week just because it was nice to like relax there. It really relieved a lot of pressure for me. I've been struggling with a lot of like rib pain and struggling to breathe for like the entire second half of my pregnancy, so the pool has been really nice. And then when we found out the baby was breech, I was like doing movements in the pool, doing handstands in the pool. If he's not flipped, I don't want to put any extra stress on the baby. We'll just do a C-section and have him delivered that way. I know that there are a lot of people who have successful ECVs, but they are also pretty risky. And for my case, it's really 50-50. So I've been like looking into C-sections, C-section recovery. We'll see how my appointment goes tomorrow. I don't know what they'll say. If the baby could turn before tomorrow, it would be so relieving. But if he doesn't, like I know everything's gonna be okay.
How are you feeling?
A lot better. I'm literally not kidding. I thought I was gonna die. I was gonna pass out, and I was saying my last prayer.